Now, where we are going to start, we're a nation of animal lovers. Per capita, we've got, actually, I think we're up there in the top 3 of the most pets. Cats. We love our cats, but feral cats we don't love. And they are now to be added to the predator-free 2050 hit list, with Conservation Minister Tamako Potaka recently announcing the policy. Potaka called them stone cold killers, and they will now join their buddies, he says, stoats, ferrets, weasels, mustelids, rats, possums, on the official list for eradication. This marks the first change to the list of species since the target's inception in 2016, when then Prime Minister John Key announced the predator-free goal. Now, there's no official estimate of how many feral cats we've got in the country. The number bandied about is about 2.5 million. But some believe the true number is far higher than that. Federated Farmers Pest Survey last year, which had 700 responses, found 37% were actively managing feral cats. Meat and Wool Chairperson is Richard Dawkins, and he joins me now. Richard, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Leah. How are you doing?
I'm good, my friend. Nice to talk to you. Happy the government's finally put the feral cats on the pest hit list?
Yeah, I certainly want to acknowledge that announcement, Leah. It was certainly welcomed by farmers. And look, this is a major problem, and everyone has a part to play. The impacts on conservation, on bird life, is pretty shocking, but also on farm, causing toxoplasmosis and things.
Yeah, I want to get to that, Richard. The recent farmer survey, which I just said in the intro, nearly 37% of farmers say they are actively managing feral cats. Do you think, though, that number reflects reality, or is the problem actually bigger than that survey suggested?
Oh, look, I would suggest the absolute majority of farmers would be doing control work, and just here on the farm, we've been doing a lot of trapping along with the neighbours. And, oh, gosh, my neighbour was out checking his traps one day, walking through the bush, listening to the bird life, and came to the final trap in the series, and there was an absolute monster of a cat there, probably 3 times the size of your
average
normal
cat.
Domestic cat.
Oh, my gosh.
I'd hate to think how many poor wee birds that thing had eaten.
Yeah, my gosh. Is that the elusive Black Panther, Richard? That's that we're still trying to find down south somewhere. Look, you touched on it. Feral cats spread toxoplasmosis across Kiwi farms. Can you walk us through the devastation that brings?
Yeah, so it has serious productivity impacts on farms. So basically, in the cat's droppings is a parasite, and that sort of spreads across pasture. And when the sheep consume it, it can impact the survivability of their lambs, of their fetuses. So you can see what's called abortion storms when you lose a whole lot of lambs before they're born, obviously.
Oh, no, because there's no outward sign of the disease, is there, until lambing, and then that's it. They effectively abort the lamb. Yeah,
well, it can be throughout pregnancy, Leah, and that when we actually scan the animals just like people. So we can be putting the sheep into the scanning crate, and often the scanner will actually pick up that, hey, there's a bit of abortion going on here, which is never good news.
And, I mean, lamb losses can mean the difference, can it not, Richard, between breaking even or not for the year for the farmer?
Yeah, certainly for a farmer, wool is not worth a hell of a lot just at the moment. So that meat income is really important, and so lamb survival and survival of those fetuses is essential for productivity.
You mentioned, listening to the bird song, and of course the devastation to bird life that feral cats can unleash. Can you tell us what one farmer told you about the chicks? Was it of a back-fronted tern colony?
Yeah. So like many farmers around the country, he was quite invested in his conservation work. Farmers have a couple of 100,000 hectares retired into what's called QE2 covenants, where you fence off native bush and a lot do trapping and just keep an eye on the native bird life. yeah, they were monitoring this wildlife and saw, the impact of what was assumed to be a few cats took out the entire colony, and that's just
Jeez.
representative of what we're hearing around the whole country. I would highlight, Leah, it seems to be more prominent in our members who are closer to towns, closer to cities,
right,
and especially around the holiday period. So I'm not sure if people are getting some kittens or cats for Christmas, or maybe they're going away on summer holiday and set the dear cat free. But we're certainly hearing from our members that it is an issue through the holiday period.
Look, people love cats, Richard, and you understand that. But I think maybe the city folk might not realise these feral cats, are not your normal domestic cat. And they do devastate bird population. Like you said, they can spread toxoplasmosis. I suppose without getting too graphic, how do farmers... how do they get rid of them? Are they too quick to shoot, or are they trapped, or how does it work?
Yeah, so several methods. I've been told the most effective is live capture. So put a bit of bait in a cage and capture them that way. The issue with that is, farmers can have extensive properties and are fairly busy, and live capture cages you need to be checking every day for welfare reasons. So a lot are going to automatic kill traps, but also tracking with dogs and bailing them up. My neighbour's got a ferocious little Jack Russell, and he's cornered a whole lot with him. So various methods there. But look, it is everyone's problem, and everyone has a part to play. I really want to highlight that.
Sure. What do you say to those that may argue that feral cats could be trapped, like you first said, and then neutered instead of culling?
Yeah, that has been suggested, but and I guess that is better than doing nothing. However, these feral cats are eating the wildlife. They're not mating with them. So you can fix the cat as much as you want, but still got to eat, and it's still going to devastate bird populations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And good luck trying to, knock it out to take it to the vet, and who's going to do all that, and who's, it's a nice thought instead of killing them, but it's just not doable, really. Richard, with the feral cats now being added to the predator-free 2050 list, does that mean they'll also be included in regional council pest management plans, or is that something different?
So that is something different, but we would like to think, with that recognition of them being on the predator-free list, that will empower councils to make that decision. And with the wider weed and pest issue this country is facing, that is going to have to be the pathway forward, not only for feral cats, but for other wild animals and pests as well.
Yeah.
Current management isn't satisfactory, which is, it's not only cats we're seeing this in, it's deer, it's goats, it's wallabies, it's pigs. So those council-driven regional pest management plans are likely the way this is all going to be driven.
Right. Interesting too about, getting rid of the regional councils too. I wonder if this is going to be a bit of a hit.
Well, we're yet to see a lot of the detail. So certainly Federated Farmers, that'll be has been an active work stream, and certainly will be putting a lot more effort into that area moving forward.
And Richard, finally, you said it a few times, and I agree with you. This is not just the farmers having to deal with it. You would like to see more public education, support desexing your domestic cats. And like you said, the problem spikes maybe around the holiday periods, possibly because people get cats or kittens for Christmas, who knows? And people people still dump them, which is just, it's ridiculous. They think setting them free is the kindest thing. And it's not.
No. And it is tough, right? These fluffy little lovable creatures.
Yeah.
But when you also consider the little birds they themselves are killing.
Yeah.
We'd just certainly encourage people, like you say, desex domestic cats. Don't drop them in the countryside, and really consider, if you are giving them as a gift,
Yeah.
is that person committed to looking after them for a very long time?
Exactly. Richard, look, great to catch up. I thank you for your time. That is Richard Dawkins from Fed Farmers, Meat and Wool Industry Group.